Hello my good friends and welcome. It's Buck Weezer, Buck Small Engine DIY on YouTube. And I got something interesting up on the table. I thought maybe you'd be interested in this as well. This is a Homelite 26B handheld leaf blower. And this came into me with the request that it needs a pull cord. There's no pull rope. It's missing. And I think that's going to be an interesting project because it's not just a unbolt it, bolt the new one in and go. It's kind of a convoluted setup. It seems like it's been sitting for a while. I've already gotten started here and then I decided let's turn the camera on. It was very dusty. I've cleaned off some of the dust, although you can still see a lot of dust here on the tube. So anyway, I'll walk you through what I've done. I pulled the tube off and I turned here, took out all these little screws with a T20 Torx bit, and this pulls off here like that. Moved him out of the way, and then on this side also this guy. Now I'm not going to go to the trouble of diving in this thing further deeper to fix this cord unless I have some assurances that once we've done that it's actually going to run. So I have a process that I do on any two-stroke equipment that comes in here, and I do this first because these are important steps apart from which it will not run, and you need to know that before you go too far into it. So I'm going to test for compression first. So I got to pull the spark plug, and when it comes time to spin the engine, we're just going to put a drill and a socket on here and turn it right here. So we will be able to test for compression that way. So I got my compression tester here. Remove the spark plug, thread this guy in, now we connect it to the gauge. Alright, can you see what I'm doing at all? Yeah, so I'm actually going to turn it around so we can spin the engine and watch the gauge. So I don't know if you can see it, but all right. We do have compression, not quite 100, it went up to about 90. I think that's probably good enough to run. I usually want to see 100 or more, but we might be close enough here that it will start and run. This is, I already had two strokes in here in the shop on the table today, and the one had 25 psi of compression. That wasn't going to run, that's toast. And then I had a blower, a nice Husqvarna blower up on the table. It only had like 50 pounds of compression, and I think somebody straight gassed it. They didn't use the gas oil mix. And I took down the muffler and looked in, and the walls of the piston were scored. So that one's not going to work. But with 90 or close to 100, I think we can feel okay about moving forward. Next I want to check for sparks. I'm going to thread the spark plug back in, and I'm going to put an inline spark tester between the spark plug and the spark plug wire. So let's connect him. Now what's interesting about that, so we're going to spin the engine again, and this should flash with an orange light if we do have spark. Now what's interesting, I don't see any kill switch on this. The stop mechanism appears to be simply turning the throttle, closing the throttle all the way. It clicks in. So that would certainly kill the engine for you, but I don't see any means of grounding out the ignition coil. I just think you stop it by shutting that throttle plate completely. So we'll put it open. But all I want to do is see if there's if it's creating spark by that flash in there. I'm going to have to turn it so I can get the drill in there. I'll tune you in a little closer to that. Again, we're going to spin the engine with the drill and see if it flashes. I don't see anything flashing. Am I missing something? Is there a kill switch somewhere that I don't know about? Let's try it again. I got a different spark tester here. So look at that little bulb there. Ah, nothing, man. I don't see any spark. That's weird. That's really weird. Alright, let's try one more thing here. Testing for spark. I put the spark plug in the boot. And I got a little jumper wire from the end probe, the grounding probe, and then the other end is clipped onto the engine. And now I'm going to spin that, and you see if I see a little spark right in there, which probably will be hard to see on the camera. Nope, nothing. So this thing's not getting spark. So, you know what? Should I dig into it further? Does it need a new coil? Obviously, I'm not fixing the starter rope if it's not going to run for us. It's not going to get spark, but that's where we're at right now. So, alright, I'm thinking I want to take this fan off, and then I can take the rest of this red cover off and get to the coil just to take a look at it. I don't have anything to lose here. So I'm going to immobilize the piston from moving up and down using this tool right here. You just thread it into the spark plug hole. Like that, and now it will lock it up. So I don't know if this is left-handed threads or traditional. I don't know if it's lefty-loosey or righty-loosey, but I guess we'll have to figure that out. Let's assume it's lefty-loosey. There we go. Alright, that's good. That. And then the fan comes off. And then a washer. And now I guess there's going to be some kind of screws going down into there. Can't tell what they are. Maybe a flashlight will give me a better view. They're a Torx bit of some sort. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's try that. I think that's it. Try a different size. That must be too big. That's a T27. I think that's a T20. But this is kind of chewed up. think that's the right size, but I can't get it to grip it. All right, stand by. All right, I took an angle grinder and cut off the tip of the bent parts of the tip on this T20. Now I think it's working. Or maybe not. That one's working. I mean, I've got other T20s like these sockets, but they're not going to fit down that hole. So a tool like this is really valuable. I'd have loosened one. Let me see about working on those others and then we'll talk again. All right, I did get the screws loose and this lifts right off. And there we have access to our recoil assembly should we choose to fix it. But again, I want to see spark before I go to the trouble of fixing the recoil. You know what I'm saying? So here's our, yeah, and you notice there's no kill wire to this. But it's not making any spark, is it? Yeah, so you just kill this thing by shutting down the throttle completely. There's no electronic means of killing this, but it's apparently not working. Still have my stopper in there. Let's take him out. Gap looks kind of big. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Definitely looks bigger than a business card sized opening. Fit a business card in there very easily. But again, I don't think the air gap is the issue here. I just think this coil is not working. Well, I think we're going to pause here for now. Maybe I can look up what one of these coils would cost. We got reasonably okay compression. We get spark, you know, it should run. But that's the big if. All right, my friends, and with that we come to the end of our project. I looked up this exact model online. It sells for $119 at the Home Depot. Well, my repair bill to put in a new ignition coil and repair the rope, my bill would be more than that. So I just was honest with the customer and said, you can go down. Now this is from 2021. It is on the Home Depot website, though it says out of stock. Maybe they don't really sell it anymore. But you can go down to Home Depot right now with $150 and buy something comparable. And that, my friends, is the reality. My repair bill would have been that much or more. So, you know, I just have to be honest with people. This isn't worth fixing. You need to replace it. And that's the state of small engine repair today, especially for these low-end handheld two-stroke machines. Very often, unless you're doing it yourself, you do it as a hobby, you like saving money, fixing your own stuff, that's awesome. Go for it, but otherwise, you know what? It's just better to replace it. And I feel bad for the folks because they brought me two pieces of equipment, and in both cases, it's not worth fixing. And that is a shame, but that's the reality of where we're at. Between me and you, I don't charge people for a diagnosis. I tell them I don't make you pay me for bad news. You know, the day will come when they have something that they need repaired, and I'll repair it for them. I've built trust with them. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not all about money. If you make everything about money, you won't have money. But if you make it about honesty and integrity, you will. So, yeah, I got to spend a few minutes putting it back together, and they'll come and pick it up, and we'll all move on. You could move on down to those comments and give me some of your thoughts and feelings on this matter. Probably run into similar things yourself. So, kind of a bummer of a video, isn't it? But real life here, and that's what we're dealing with. So thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Remember, as I always like to say, only you can put the do into do-it-yourself if it's worth doing. Bye.